Hey guys, it's Ashley, and this is my Pretty Little Liars recap for season 5, episode 1, Escape from New York.
Taking this one to the grave. If I show you, then I know you won't tell what I said. 'Cause two can keep a secret if one of them is dead.
Hey guys, it's Ashley, and welcome back to my Pretty Little Liars recap and review series. So how long has it been since my last one? I can't remember how long, but it seemed like a long time. I mean, it seemed like it was last year, but it was this year. Was it like 3 months? It's around there. Anyway, I'm just so glad that Pretty Little Liars is back because it's like one of my favorite shows. Like, actually, it is like probably my ultimate favorite show. Start off by saying that I also can't believe that it got renewed for 2 more seasons. In a way, it's pretty good. Like, it's cool and all, but at the same time, it's like, oh my gosh, they're gonna drag this whole A thing for like 2 more years, 3 more years, probably 3 more years, I'm guessing. So probably like what, end in 2017, 16, I don't know. But all I know, I'll be in my 20s by then, which is like crazy to think about. So it got renewed for season 6 and 7. So wow, that's pretty cool, right? I mean, that's what the fan base can do. Like, I just love that show. I'm just gonna stop rambling on and I'm gonna get to the recap. Also, this isn't a real tattoo, it's a henna tattoo if you've been watching my other vlogs, but yeah, it's fake and it's fading right now. Inspired by Demi Lovato's tattoo. It says faith. It's backwards because I'm using my webcam, and if you hear like random noises, it's like my cat is in the background. So I'm just gonna get to the recap. The show begins with the aftermath of Ezra being shot, and Arya like wants to go to Ezra, but she can't because he's being pulled into the ambulance. And we see Allison looking at the ambulance driving away, and A, like the black hoodie, is on top of the ambulance. Like, that's really creepy. So A's following Ezra wherever they're taking him into, like in the hospital room. They all split up. Arya with Allison, and Spencer, Hannah, and Emily are there. They split up, and so they're like trying to like make a plan to get to the hospital before A does. And all. Arya is at the hospital room waiting, and Allison goes off on her own in the streets, and where she sees someone in a black hoodie following her. So she goes to this playground, this really eerie playground, and it's like dark out, and then she turns around, and then this black hooded figure says, "Wanna play?" in this really creepy voice, like whispering, and it kind of just cuts from there. And then when it comes back, no, he says something else really creepy, and then Spencer comes out of nowhere. The girls are together except Arya. Arya's at the hospital, and Allison sprays A with pepper spray, and then he goes ah, and then this other A appears, and then all of a sudden there's all these A people, like all in black with different Halloween masks, like all these masks, and they're all like going up into the liars' faces, like maybe I may, like that. And then I guess the police is nearby, so then they're like, hey, stop it, and so they all run away. A is always one step ahead of them. So yeah, it was a lot of A's. Also, what happens in this episode, we see Shauna. We also see Lucas. So Shauna is in the hospital room with Arya, and Arya doesn't want to trust anything that Shauna says. I mean, who would? She also checks on Ezra for a bit while Ezra is like still like after surgery. He's like sleeping. We also see Paige in this episode, which kind of shocked me. Mona and Lucas are working together, and they have this whole team. Well, mostly Mona, but Mona has this. She gathered a group of people with Paige, all these people who have been tormented by Allie when Allie was teasing Mona. Like, Mona was like, I was loser Mona before all this happened. She called Lucas out, like, what did Allie call you? And he was like, Hermie. And then it's like, what about you, Paige? And then Paige didn't want to say it. So Mona's like, oh, she called you pigskin. And then all these other random people, they say, oh, she called me this, she called me that. So like this whole group of people. And then Paige is like, okay, I don't want to be here. Like, I have nothing against Allie. And so when she's about to get out of the room, Melissa appears and kind of stops her. And Melissa's like, we have to go now. So Paige kind of like, she's kind of hesitant. Like, she doesn't really know what to do. Like, I have a feeling she maybe might join that group, but just to find out what's going on with Mona and all of that. I don't really think she'd hurt Emily, even though, I don't know, because Mona did say that, oh, Allison's not even back and she's the one that split you and Emily up. So hopefully, like, Mona's not gonna, like, convince her to do something, like, bad, you know, like, because that'd be horrible. Because I still ship Paley. Like, Emerson's cute and all, but I don't know, I'm just a huge Paley shipper. So I just hope nothing like that happens, like, somehow turns her back on Emily just by joining this group. Like, I hope if she does join the group, that she'll just be in the group, like, just pretending, like, you know, like how Toby was in the A-Team, just kind of protecting Spencer. I hope that's what she'll do, but you never know with this show. So Allison has this place for Emily, Hannah, and Spencer to stay, she knows of, and it's called the Fitzgerald, and it's a theater. And she has a backflash of when she and Ezra was dating, that he brought her to this theater, showing her around and all that. 4 girls without Arya's sleeping in the waiting room at the hospital. She fell asleep. The other 4 girls are at this theater place. They fell asleep. There's a lot of funny Hannah moments in this episode. Like, I just found it really funny. Like, there was this one part where, this is really, like, irrelevant, but there's this one part that Hannah was, like, looking at the theater, and then there was, like, this gun, and she's like, whoa, it's a real gun. And then Emily's like, Hannah. And she took the gun away from Hannah. I thought it was really funny. And there's this other part where Allie was sleeping, and Hannah told Spencer that she has to watch what she says around her, because Allison's Allie, like, she's probably not really sleeping, like, she's eavesdropping on them. And so Hannah goes next to Allie sleeping and waves her hand around Allie. It's like, oh, she's sleeping. I just thought it was funny. Yeah, so then they all fall asleep. All the other girls are sleeping. Allie meets Joel and Cece at, like, this cafe, where Cece a plane ticket to get out of here because she can get in big trouble for killing a cop. She killed Detective Golden, so she needs to get out of there. Allison gives her passport, plane ticket with Vivian Darkbloom's face on it and name as like a disguise, so she don't get caught. They hug it out. Cece and Allie, and Cece's on her way out of there. And I have a feeling something bad is gonna happen to Cece. I just have this feeling. And this is just how the show goes, right? They leave and then something bad happens most of the time. And then so Allison comes back and Emily wakes up and she asks her, where do you go? Like, I thought we were all a team, you need to tell us. So Allie takes Emily to another room and she tells her about Cece has to go out of there because she killed a cop, and also how Cece dressed up as Redcoat, and she was actually the one that saved Emily. You know, like when they were in Ravenswood and Emily got trapped in that box and Cece was also there. Okay, yeah, Cece did not put her in the box. A did, but Cece saved her life. And Hannah and Spencer find them and they're like, oh, we can't get in touch with Arya, the call keeps dropping, because they're trying to get in touch with Arya, who's at the hospital. So they're talking to Arya and then all of a sudden the call gets failed because another call is trying to go through, and that other detective Hallbrook, is at the police station and he's like looking up all this information about Ezra, and he finds out about the Fitzgerald Theater, and that's how he gets the phone number. So he calls that number and Allison picks up the phone thinking it's Arya, and she's like, hello, can you hear me now? And Detective Hallbrook, he's like, Allison, is that you? And she kind of like just freezes and then just hangs up. Detective Hallbrook and all the police people are like looking for them. They kind of know like where she is and all. And so the other girls are telling her to, why don't you use your plane ticket that Noel gave you and fly out of here? And then she says that she can't, and only Emily knows, but Emily can't tell the other girls, so she just kind of keeps quiet. And she's like, why, who'd you give it to? Like, Like, why would you do that? And she just said she had to help someone else in need. Back in like Rosewood, because they're at New York right now, Melissa has a secret, and we don't really know what that secret is. In the last episode, we see her whispering to her dad. Later in the episode, Melissa's dad tells her that her mom can never know what she told him. So it must be something pretty bad. The fact that she's also working with Mona and Lucas and all that people, maybe she knows who killed Mrs. De Laurentiis. I guess that would be like a thing. And so the end of the episode, whoa, Arya goes into Ezra's hospital room. He wakes up. There was another part in the episode where he woke up but he started shaking and like he was getting like complications, and Shauna was there too. And then this time he wakes up calmly. He takes off his breathing mask and he whispers something into her ear. So she runs out of there looking for Shauna, and Shauna's nowhere to be found. And then we're back at the theater, and all of a sudden Shauna is there with a black hoodie, with a gun. I don't know why I didn't catch this on, but I did afterward. Shauna was the one who shot Ezra. I'm glad they cleared that up right at this episode. I'm glad they didn't drag it all along, then I got crazy. Black hoodie, she's pointing a gun to the girls. Pointing it mostly at Allison though. And Allison's telling her about Jenna, like, I know you love Jenna. Jenna doesn't love you. She plays with people. And she was like, oh, like how you play with people. Emily's like trying to have peace, like make peace, and then she points the gun at Emily. She's like, shut up before I blow your head off. And I was like, oh my gosh, like she means business, like she's not playing around. And then Arya enters the building really quietly, and then she has like a rifle gun. She just kind of creeps quietly, and Shauna turns around. Arya doesn't shoot her, but she kind of hits her with the gun, and I think Shauna's gun went off and it hit the light bulb, and then the girls ducked down, and then Shauna like fell off the stage. I guess the way she landed, she died, because she died right at that instant. No pulse. So they call 911 saying there's been an accident. Then they're out of there. And then so the end, park in the theater, the police are looking with flashlights and they find Shauna dead. I really, really loved this episode. It was pretty different from what we normally have. Like I really love like the different scenes, and I just love the fact that Allison was with them most of the time. You know, like she wasn't out in hiding. I feel like this is gonna be one of the best seasons. Like last season, I really liked some of the episodes in season 4. I got a little boring, but yeah, there's like a total different thing. This episode was really good. I really enjoyed it. I watched it twice, and I loved it. Like every single moment of this episode I loved, and I just love how they actually did reveal a lot of things. Like we know who killed Detective Wilden, we know that Cece isn't part of the A-team, she's actually good. Shauna was the one who shot Ezra. That's like the most big thing. Really surprised that they revealed that right away, but that was like, that was such a good episode. Don't know what that was. So the 5th episode of this season will be the 100th episode, so that'll be cool. And also, you know what else is awesome? Hey Love is reuniting on the 100th episode. Like, oh god, yes. If I have time, I'm probably gonna make a reaction video to that, because I just feel like it's gonna be a special episode. You know, the 100th episode usually it's like a special episode. But anyway, I'm gonna go now. Hope you guys have a great night or day wherever you are. Bye guys, peace out.